This is WPTV, William Patterson Television.
Welcome back to the desk. The NBA is heating up as we get closer to the trade deadline and the All-Star break. Here to break it all down is Bijan, Pulley, JJ Woodards, Brian Montiel, and Matt Goldman. Guys, the Kings reopened trade talks for All-Star point guard De'Aaron Fox on Tuesday. Bijan, where is he going to get traded to?
Man, I got to go with the Spurs. It's best for them to pair a dynamic guard next to Wemby long term. Fox can score at a high level. Plus, with his elite speed, he's a good advantage creator, creating easy shots at the rim and good shots from deep for teammates and constantly putting pressure on the defense and causing them to shift. And Chris Paul, he's been great, and that signing has paid off for the Spurs. He can't bend defenses the same way he could maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And getting guards like De'Aaron Fox don't come around often, and the Spurs have to take advantage that Wemby's on a rookie deal. Plus, Fox is an all-NBA caliber player. You got to get a kind of talent like that next to Wemby. Yeah,
Spurs could be a good fit for Fox. JJ.
I'm going to go with the Miami Heat, and the Heat's been needing a start for like years now. They're 23 and 23. They're 6th in the East. They're just a competitive team. They're in the worst spot in the NBA. They're in the middle. And Jimmy Butler has been crying for management to get a star. This is the guy that they need to get. He averages 25, 5, and 6. That's the type of guy you want on your team.
Yeah. Goldie, talk me up.
I think it's going to be the Orlando Magic. Adding Fox to Orlando would be monumental for them, creating a big three of Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, and De'Aaron Fox. They would have to be all in right now. You see in the East, you have Cleveland, Boston, and the Knicks. That's about it. If Orlando can get De'Aaron Fox, they can contend. You could trade away Anthony Black, Goga Bitadze, Jonathan Isaac. Let's say 3 first-round picks. You know, De'Aaron Fox has kind of been disrespected for his whole career, so going to the East would be a good move.
Bly, finish off.
I think De'Aaron Fox would go to the Warriors. You know, he has that Curry brand deal. They have a good relationship, and I think Curry's already calling up his phone probably. I think you should probably trade a lot, you know, Jonathan Kuminga and all that. But they need to do something for the Warriors to make that one last push for Curry. You need to, you know, go big at this point.
Yeah, gentlemen, the All-Star teams were finalized, but there were players that were left out. Bly, I'll start off with you. Who's a player that should have been picked?
I know he's been hurt for a little while, but according to an article I read about 5 minutes ago, he's going to come back before the All-Star break. So Luka Doncic, I think he should be the one that should replace Curry because, honestly, he did have a better season before he got hurt. 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists, and compared to Curry's 22 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. So I just think it's just better. I mean, Luka's in the MVP conversation. I don't think Curry is, so I think he deserves it, even though he was hurt.
Yeah, Goldie, what player?
You know what? I'm going to start this off. I love Jalen Brunson. But unfortunately, he's not having as good a season as LaMelo Ball. LaMelo's averaging 28 points, 5 boards, and 7 assists. I get the Hornets aren't good. That's fine. But you cannot deny stats. LaMelo's shooting 41% from the field. He has the highest, if you add points per game, rebounds per game, and assists per game added together, it's the highest in the East. So LaMelo not being an all-star starter or an all-star at all, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, JJ, I kind of know where you're going with this one, but Bijan mentioned him. Where you going?
I gotta go with the alien himself, Victor Wembanyama. The guy's been on a tear this year, averaging 24 points, over 10 rebounds, and 3.9 blocks a game, just over 3 blocks a game. The guy's just swatting everything. I feel as though he deserves a spot over guys like KD and LeBron James, even though they're still playing at a high level. I just think Victor Wembanyama is the new young guy that needs that starting spot.
Yeah, Wembanyama is a block machine.
It's hard name to say. It's hard name to say.
My pronunciation.
Wembanyama.
Bijan finishes off here.
I got to go with Detroit basketball very own Cade Cunningham. Even though he made it as a reserve, I believe he should have been a starter. He's averaging 25, 6, and 9 on shooting splits of 45, 36, and 82 while carrying a huge offensive load. And that offensive load has only gotten bigger since Jaden Ivey went down because he broke his fibula. And despite all the defensive attention that Cade receives every night, double teams, sometimes triple teams, he's still putting up good numbers on good shooting splits while leading the Pistons to their best season in 5 years, which they're 1 game below 500, but the bar was low, to be fair.
Bijan, you're very animated at the start of that question.
Shout out Isaiah Stewart.
But anyway, the NBA's February 6th trade deadline is quickly approaching. It could send shockwaves across the league. Goldie, what's a player that you're confident that will get moved at the deadline?
Bradley Beal in Phoenix has kind of just been a disaster. The fans don't want him there. He's a terrible fit next to Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. So it doesn't really give too many positives. He's had injury struggles. He was inconsistent. He has a no trade clause, so he's going to be picky. So wherever he goes, some destinations, Toronto, Charlotte, Houston. Brad Beal's just not the same. So unfortunately, he's got to say bye-bye to Phoenix.
JJ, who you got?
This guy's name has been in the trade talks for like probably 2 years now. Zach LaVine, I think it's time for him to go. Like Chicago, after Lonzo Ball got hurt, they just haven't been the same, and he's just been on a team that's just been bad for a couple years now. So I just think he deserves another spot, like to be on the contender team.
Yep, boy.
I'm gonna go Jimmy Butler. I mean, I think JJ agrees with me. He just needs to get out of there.
Out of there, please.
Just get out of there. I mean, it's a lot of hoopla going around in the Heat organization. I mean, he walked out the practice this morning or the other day. I mean, it's all bad vibes there. So I think it's just time for him to go. And Tyler Hero just made an All-Star team, so it gives him a more chance to, stat pad, I guess.
Like Pat Riley's here in this. He needs to just get him out of there.
Tyler Hero's a fringe all-star. I don't know if he's having.
But gives him a chance to cook a little more.
Don't let Pat Riley cook more.
He's not cooking. That's the problem.
Bijan, talk to me about your player.
I'm going to go with Cam Johnson. It's a name that we've heard for a while now. The Nets have made it no secret they want to tank, whether that's trading back for their first-round pick from the Rockets during this past offseason, trading Dennis Schroeder to the Warriors, and Dorian Finney-Smith to the Lakers in December. So trading Cam Johnson is the next step so they can hopefully capture the flag. Not to mention, Cam Johnson's skill set will fit with any team. He's a good shooter both off the catch and on the move, and he's a solid defender that will provide the team wherever he goes. A solid defender with size and length to defend small forwards and power forwards.
Yeah, gentlemen, the NBA is almost at the halfway mark, and MVP cases are being solidified. JJ, I'll go to you. Who's an MVP already halfway through?
It got to be SGA. Come on now. He's averaging 32, 5, and 6. Like, those numbers are crazy. You see his bag. If you watch him, that's just bag work right there. Straight bag work.
There's a guy averaging a triple-double.
And then, then again, but Jokic doesn't have
a bag.
He doesn't have his drip.
I get
He doesn't have his drip.
I get Jokic doesn't have aura.
I give points for drip, too.
I love the argument, but we're going to have to move on to Bly here. Who's your MVP?
Well, unfortunately, you're going back to the argument because just because Jokic don't got a bag doesn't mean he's not better. Jokic is averaging a triple-double, like Goldie just said. He's having one of the best seasons of all time. Just because there's voter fatigue doesn't mean he does not deserve it. He's the best player in the world, and I know you can agree with that. Jokic is the best player in the world. Why does he does not deserve an MVP?
I can, but like he doesn't have the drip.
So if you're the best player in the world, you got to win the MVP.
Goldie, quickly.
It's got to be Nikola Jokic. He's averaging 30 points per game, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and he has near 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And as I mentioned, voter fatigue is going to be an issue, but the Nuggets are not the same team without him on the floor. All credit to Shea, but Jokic is going for number 4.
Bijan, quickly finish it off.
I got to go with Mr. R-Man himself, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Shea leads the league in scoring with averaging 32 points a game while shooting 52% from the field and 35% from deep. But you want to hear a crazy stat? Shea is shooting 70.8% on shots less than 5 feet. Basically, layups, shooting 70.8% on layups as a guard is something we have never seen. That's like historical feat. And he's doing this on 6.6 attempts per game from that distance, while leading the Thunder to a 37-9 record. That sounds like an MVP to me.
Yeah, See, Mr. Analytics just broke it down for y'all. So that's why he should be the MVP.
MVP 4 for Jokic.
Yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this NBA segment. Keep it locked here on WP TV as we go over to the court at the Rec Center to talk some WP basketball right after the break.